So last week we talked about personas. This week, let's talk personalities. Have you ever taken a personality test?
I've taken the MBTI one, but then I kind of forgotten what my traits are.
That is
Yeah.
pretty much the equivalent of not taking a test. But
I mean, I do remember that they did sell as an introvert though, which I guess is
anybody
very
knows that you are an introvert.
Yes, but still.
Okay, but still interesting.
Yes.
Even though you may have forgotten it.
Of course. Then how about? I mean, there's no way you actually remembered it, right? Did you?
Yeah, I do. I remember two actually. Like when was 2017? 3 years ago. Yeah, 3 years ago I got ESTJ. I don't know what that means. And then about a year ago I got INTJ. Also have no idea what that means. But
So you
I remember.
transform an extrovert to an introvert.
Yeah. Although I don't think I can really rely on the results because for some reason I managed to get 93% introverted. Don't ask me how I remember the specific number. I guess it's just cause it's quite unbelievable.
I like how your brain just remembers such things. I remember a few lessons ago, my TOK teacher went through something involving personality tests, and we were discussing about the reliability of such tests, considering or we were tasked to explore the reliability of such tests, given how what traits they mentioned. Yeah, it's not really that reliable because it's all based on past like data collected from other people and how different like surroundings and all that would just basically lead to basically what they're trying to say that is that the data that they are basing your personality off of might be affected by many external things which will lead to it being unreliable. Yeah.
Isn't that basically the way we treat the periodic table? You know, how we say relative atomic mass. The mass is just relative to carbon 12, right?
Oh wow! Wait, I actually didn't know that. I'm not very good at the sciences.
You get what? No.
But yeah. Oh, that's interesting.
No. That shouldn't be interesting. This is worrying that you didn't know relative atomic mass is relative, Mr. HR Chemistry.
Yeah, but quick fact. Do you know why they pick carbon?
No, I don't.
Oh,
it's just because it's a convenient element, so they decide to base everything off carbon because.
Science. No, it's. I mean, just like the teacher actually mentioned this last lesson, that actually it's because carbon is the most, I don't know, like abundant element or something. Therefore, they just picked it. Yeah, it's just convenience sake, I think. Okay,
so I was
correct. Back to the
so back to what you were saying, right? So basically, what you said was the test is. I mean, personality tests are okay, maybe not personality tests as a whole, but the 16 personalities test, MBTI, is unreliable because you are just being compared relative to everybody else.
But it's not even this. It is. I feel this does apply to every single personality test, I would say, because, for example, if they ask you things such as for example, if they ask you some questions, they have a range of 1 to 5, but how would I think you try to determine where you lie on such a scale, you know?
Okay, let's try that. On a scale of 1 to 5, how lazy are you?
I would say like a solid 4.
Okay, give reasons.
Because I do not like doing work. But at the same time, But at the same time, you see, it's hard because given different circumstances, I have different laziness. You know, for example, if it's the day before the exam, I'll suddenly become a lot more hardworking and start studying hard. But then, if not on a usual basis, I will be reluctant to do so.
You walked into my trap. I now have an audio recording of a negative trait.
Well, I mean.
Now cower in fear.
I mean, I'm not. I mean, I'm proud of. Okay, not proud of, but I do agree that I'm a mugger, but I do not feel it's a problem.
Okay, sure, whatever.
But
How do
okay,
you get
but
here? Oh yeah, personality tests.
we should honestly talk about how people also refer to things such as I'm a I'm a I'm a Gemini, I'm a Virgo,
Oh,
therefore I'm
astrology.
aggressive. Yeah, therefore I'm aggressive, or maybe therefore I'm quiet and and I'm very subtle in what I'm doing.
You know what
And
really
also
annoys me about astrology?
what?
It's the fact that it's so close to astronomy that sometimes I just get I don't get confused, but it does worry me because sometimes I may mix the two up, and because one is a science and the other is a pseudoscience,
Oh yeah, wait,
and the world
wait.
is filled with.
Talking about that, right?
Hmm?
We were talking about that. I remember watching your video. Then it was like a short. I remember it was a clip from some like short dating show. Then the guy was saying that I'm an astrologist. Then the girl said I'm a Gemini. So, no, but okay, but yes, I went off on a tangent. Okay, back to the topic.
You know what you said about that video?
Yeah.
What do you have to say about people who use their sign as a justification for their
Personality, right?
unacceptable behaviors? Let's ground it. Let's ground it in astrology for a sec.
Uh,
Suppose I go around putting other people down and trying to get the attention of everybody. And then when someone confronts me about this, I go, "Oh, I'm sorry, I can't help it. I'm a Leo, you know. I thrive on attention."
Okay, if you put it that way, then yeah, if you find it put it that way, then yeah, sure. I would, yeah, I would be very, yes, I'll be extremely irritated by that. Yeah, because honestly, as long as I feel that yeah, because I feel in that case the person kind of revolves the identity around their astrology thing.
Yeah.
Wouldn't you say so?
Oh, what was it?
Yeah,
What was the term even called? Star sign, is it? I just call it sign because I'm not sure what it is.
Oh yeah, it's a sign, but then it doesn't it also wait. Okay, yeah, I think it's called a star sign. I'm also not really sure. But
It's called
yeah,
sign.
I mean, as long as people do not revolve their entire personality around their star sign or around their MBTI, then then I feel it's fine, you know. But if they use it as a justification to do certain things that are not necessarily good, then I feel that or they let these categorizations just dominate their entire life and just dominate who they are, like dominate their thoughts towards who they are. Then I feel if it's in that case, then yeah, I'm very disapproving of this sort of categorization.
Speaking of categorization, do you remember sometime last year I went around class getting people to fill in the Dungeons and Dragons personality sheet. The one that goes from lawful good to chaotic evil. I'll just take it as you don't remember, but I clearly remember because no one actually gave me a solid answer. But the thing that I wanted to talk about was my sudden interest towards those boxes.
Yeah, can you elaborate? I don't really.
I don't know, but
Yeah.
no, because one day I saw that and I was like, wouldn't it be cool to classify people according to a bunch of arbitrary terms? So attempt to
Yeah.
classify people based on arbitrary terms I did, and then one of our classmates just commented on how people are very inclined to not very inclined. People are quite focused on being labeled.
Yeah, it's kind of the idea of I am an INTP, or that's my personality. Yes, okay, so I'm
We've been
this
saying
sort of
INTP a
person.
lot, you know.
Because I do not know the other letters, and those are all the letters that were provided to me.
Okay, I was about to say that maybe you are an INTP, whatever that means.
Okay, maybe why not I change the letter T to J? I think that's one of them, right? Give me a sec. Oh yeah, it is. Wait, there's an INFJ. Okay, I'll go with that now then. So yeah. Apparently INFJ is the rarest personality type. Oh wow.
Okay,
but
how
yeah,
informative.
okay, yeah. But for example, maybe some people, yeah, maybe the feeling that okay, I'm an INFJ, yeah, I'm an introvert, I'm a tidy person or something like that. Maybe that's yeah. I guess being in such boxes does give you that sense of comfort, right? Don't you agree?
I'm not. I don't think comfort is exactly the most. I don't think comfort is
Suitable.
the most accurate word to use, but I
Oh,
see what you mean. Must
yeah.
feel nice. Must feel nice knowing that you belong to somewhere. Oh yeah, this reminds me of football. Okay, I was watching a video once about um the behaviors of football fans. Do you ever notice when people talk about football or soccer, whichever English you prefer? Uh, the pronoun that they use is always we and never the actual
Yeah.
team name.
Yeah, I know exactly what you're talking about because I have made fun of some people.
Really?
For,
Oh, that is not a good that was not very smart of you.
yes, but it was just I didn't make fun of them. Okay, how should I put it? I didn't want. I wasn't making. I was just commenting on how they say we. You know.
I guess the answer to whatever we've been talking about can be found in soccer fans.
Oh,
This longing, maybe not longing, but this subconscious desire for inclusivity somewhere.
yeah.
I think that motivates people to, well, some people to take personality tests to go around with a label saying I am, what are those four letters again? Whatever. I am four letters or
INFP the various one. Version.
yeah, okay, whatever.
FJ.
Okay.
Hmm.
Then as for astrology, you can't take a personality test for astrology, or you can't take a personality test for the sign because that's when you're born. But yeah, I think going around proudly announcing your sign and using it to justify your behavior, good and bad,
Hmm.
um, yeah, stems from this desire.
Yeah, I
So
do
speaking of a
agree.
desire to have a label, right? You feel that personality tests are unreliable because the data is not uh the data is relative. But
Yeah.
now consider the fact that the person inputting the data is also unreliable.
I mean, okay, for back to the theory lesson I was talking about, not only did we discuss the reliability of like whatever data is being whatever person data that is being compared to, we also actually ran a test in which in pairs we're supposed to do personality tests together, you know. Yeah.
What do you mean personality test together? Isn't it a
So
solo thing? You go online, you click.
no. So basically what we did was because it was still during the circuit breaker, the HBL period. So what we did was the teacher broke sent us to breakout rooms, and then in pairs we did the personality test while screen sharing the process that we were picking it in. Yeah, so it was so yeah, I can definitely understand the unreliableness that
Let me
you're
guess
referring.
what happened. Okay, so suppose there is a question. Let's call it question. Do you often think about the reason for human existence? Then you
Oh,
select your response on a scale of -3 to +3.
yeah.
Then you pick, let's say, if it was up to me to answer, I'll put like +2. And
Okay.
then I'm guessing that there was a point where the other person who was watching you take the test comment that the +2 wasn't the right wasn't the so-called correct answer. He feels it was
I,
more like +1 or even 0.
I mean, how should I put it? I wouldn't exactly say that the person would say that whether it's the correct or wrong answer. I'll just
Yeah,
say
I think
that
there's no right or wrong answer,
uh,
but they feel
yeah.
as though, really? Is this what you really think of yourself? Oh yeah, that's the thing. What do you think of yourself?
Um,
Okay, you and me and everyone, we all actually no, I don't dare generalize, but there is this like ideal person that uh we want to be, right?
yeah,
Especially
of course.
especially for us when
Uh,
we're still young, looking up to people.
I mean, it's not really when I was so young. Like even now, it definitely has something I want to aspire towards.
Yeah,
I'm
but,
from-
but I feel that this ideal person that we've constructed in our minds
Mhm.
has influenced our answers to such tests. And I
Oh, yeah,
think
for
that
sure.
is the greater factor that determines or well compromises the reliability of such tests. Because whatever result you're getting is the result that you want. Oh, I want to be sophisticated and philosophical. I want to be a party animal. And I can't think of a last one to complete the rule of three.
Maybe you can say I want to be shut in.
Oh, shut
Okay, wait, that's not really a rule.
That's not really good. That's a terrible personality. Shut-ins are. That's all I'll say.
Yeah, but yeah, I kind of. I mean, for the like in the example that I pointed out, what I felt was that yeah, kind of similar to what you said. Pretty much, how others kind of perceive you affects what you pick greatly. Also,
So there's this internal you and this external you,
Mm-hmm.
and there's also this social you,
Mm-hmm.
and then there's also this ideal you.
Yeah.
So many variables, huh? Whatever we've discussed in the past 15 minutes or so has just kind of led to the conclusion that this is unreliable and should not be taken seriously.
Yeah, and that we shouldn't base our entire identity around such tests. I feel kind of like maybe IQ test. It's something good to know, but you shouldn't really take too much. You shouldn't put too much thought
Oh
in
yeah,
that.
IQ tests. I guess IQ tests are a little bit more objective than personality tests because there isn't this ideal. I mean, there is an ideal IQ you want, but you aren't really at the. You don't really have control over what result you get.
Yeah.
You can't really say, I feel that I want because there's a set answer to the question.
Yeah, so it makes it harder for people to really be.
Yeah, so you can't
Yes.
go, I feel that I am intelligent. But speaking of, I feel that I am intelligent. It sounds so narcissistic.
Narcissistic.
Yeah. I read in a book somewhere, right, that there are two types of narcissism.
Mhm.
So, case number A. Oh, I butchered that. Yeah. Okay, fine. Case number A. I deserved to be treated specially because I am better than everyone else. Case number B. I deserve to be treated specially because I am worse off than everyone else. Can you comment on these two people that I have just made up?
I don't know. I feel both are very. I feel the very idea of demanding special treatment is really quite. Yeah,
It's quite selfish, right?
Yeah, and it's also quite entitled, wouldn't you say? Because
Entitled people.
yeah, because kind of like we shouldn't really. I mean, yeah, we shouldn't demand that others treat us in a special way because yeah, it's just very entitled. Yeah,
But I suppose for case number A, it's more recognizable, right? Because you're just blatantly being you're just being a bad person. It is so obvious that you are unlikable, and it's much easier for people to dislike you.
Yeah.
Whereas for case number B, it's a bit harder. For case number B, your inability to meet the standards that the meet the standards of other people gives you
the right to
the right to
demand.
demand for special treatment, and it feels somewhat logical. Like this whole idea of equity, where since you're worse off, everybody should help elevate you to the position of everyone else.
Mhm. But then wouldn't you say
Yeah.
you say that usually doesn't really happen? Yeah, that doesn't really happen, right?
What do you mean that doesn't really happen? As in you publicly demand for special treatment? Yeah. In that case, if you're talking about that, yep.
No. I'm not saying that. I'm saying if you feel that you're inferior and therefore you kind of wish that you keep thinking that you should be entitled to special treatment, then wouldn't you say that is wouldn't you say that that will end up being detrimental to oneself? Because all that they think about is that they should have special treatment, but then it might just never come. Then in that case, wouldn't they become more and more, wouldn't there this sort of maybe inferiority complex just get worse and worse, and they want to demand more and more special treatment, and it just doesn't happen,
Yeah.
Wouldn't there be a
I agree. It does fuel their inferiority complex.
Mhm.
But the whole point that I'm getting at is that it's danger. It's a dangerous mindset because of whatever you said, along with the fact that it's much harder to recognize.
Yeah. Oh
Because
yeah. So
for a
that's why
period of
you were
time,
talking
right?
about. Uh,
I
yeah.
think I was case number B,
Mm-hmm.
and it took a while to realize that I was more in control of my life than I thought,
Mm-hmm.
and that's when I finally realized that I was being an entitled person.
Mm-hmm.
It's the type of thing that and then from that point onwards, I managed to recognize the people that are like this, where they feel as though the world owes them a living. But not because they're better than the world, but rather because the world is better than them. Okay,
Okay.
now we've identified the problem.
Yeah. Then how do you solve it, right?
Yeah, so after I identified the problem with myself, I managed to I don't know, I don't even remember how I managed to take myself out of this position. But
Mm-hmm.
then after that, when I noticed other people like this, I just felt like telling them off. Just blatantly going up to them and saying, "You are not special."
Mm-hmm.
And to me, that seemed like the greatest thing to do because you are spelling out the problem for them. And it's very obvious what they
Yeah.
should do to fix the problem. Just stop thinking about that. But
But
consider
then
this problem from sad person's point of view. They are already they
inferior.
perceive themselves as not special because um they have no they have no unique characteristics. There's nothing that defines them. All they know is that they are inferior to everyone else. And then some stranger just walks up to them and says, "You are not special."
Mm-hmm.
Their ego is going to go down the drain.
Yeah. But
But
I
but but what do you think of this? What do you think of this type of criticism?
you like you mean this sort of like very blatant and very direct sort of criticism?
Yeah.
I don't know though. I would say okay, usually I would just say that it depends on who the person is. Because some people are able to face this sort of like this sort of step to the face sort of criticisms. But then in this case, since we are very like since we are limiting it greatly to just this group of people that already have an inferiority complex, so I feel that maybe these sort of methods aren't really the best.
Yeah, there's no
Yeah.
clear solution to
Mm,
this problem. So
yeah.
since we're talking about direct criticism, right? Maybe let's expand it.
Uh-huh.
Let's shift the focus away from helping narcissistic people to a more general sense.
So you mean evaluating constructive versus this sort of very direct criticisms? Wait, no, wait, sorry.
I mean,
So basically,
constructive
you're saying
criticism
that
can be direct
you
too.
want to evaluate different types of criticisms, right?
Yeah, let's go with that. So
Mm-hmm.
yeah, when I was training juniors during drama
Mm-hmm.
or auditioning the new sec ones that were coming into the CCA.
Mm-hmm.
When was that? Yeah, when I was 15, 16. Yeah, the comments I gave were quite straightforward. When something is bad, it is bad. And after I dished out those comments, I felt pretty darn good about myself. Yeah, just obsessed with this idea that honesty is the best policy. But then when applied to my work, right? When a teacher gives me direct feedback, I will just feel extremely demoralized.
Yeah.
But at the same time, I disliked those people who took about 10 years to give feedback, because they will soften the impact of the criticism with a bunch of compliments that they desperately try and extract from the piece of work.
Honestly, if someone gives me criticisms, right, I would much rather they kind of soften the blow first, because if someone gives me a very direct criticism, I'm not sure how I would take it, you know.
But what if the work is blatantly bad?
Then if it were me giving the thing, I would first say that okay, it's bad, but then afterwards I would say that I would tell the person like how they can improve, you know.
But the question I throw back to you is, which statement is more memorable? This is bad, or you should focus on ABC and then we can work to XYZ. Be honest.
Okay, definitely the part saying that this is bad is definitely more
it's more impactful and more memorable because
Okay,
it is short and concise and to the point, and worst of all, negative.
I mean, I would just say that it's definitely more memorable, but I'll say that it's memorable in a form of it being traumatic.
Traumatic is a strong word. But
Okay.
if anything, I think that underscores the point I'm trying to make. But then again, I don't even have a clear answer as to how I would solve this. Okay, then maybe like another situation where you replace "it is bad" with
it can be improved.
Yeah, let's go with "it can be improved," or "it is not bad, but it is not good." How do you think that would change things? Because I don't think that would change a lot. I think that if anything, that is it is equally memorable.
I mean, I wouldn't say they're all equally memorable. Actually, I would say that the one that is the most memorable is definitely it's bad.
On this spectrum of compliments and criticisms, I think not bad falls under the compliment side. You go to a restaurant, you eat some food, and you go, oh, that's not bad.
I guess it's just because people do not want. I guess it's just people do not want to dish out the compliment of it's good, or I think that's why people usually say not bad, because
but I'm more interested in the duality of this term, where not bad can mean good, where as well as its literal meaning, where it is not bad and just like okay, but it doesn't qualify as an okay. It just isn't bad.
So basically it's just
I think English is a strange language, but yeah, on to not bad. Still equally impactful.
Is it equally impactful? I'll say that if you put it on a spectrum of it is bad, it is not bad, and it's extremely good, I'll say that for sure that is the most impactful, and then the other two are kind of like I don't know, I'll say they're kind of even.
You know, all this discussion about whether not bad or very good is more memorable or not has just led me to the conclusion that human emotion is a pain to work with. Because now giving criticism is difficult, especially face to face, because you can see someone's motivation just leave their body when you walk up to them and say, this is bad, this is terrible.
I mean, honestly, right, for any, if you're putting, if you're prioritizing productivity and making it the most important thing, then emotions are definitely a key because emotions impede productivity. Yeah, because you see it everywhere. For example, um, and I think it's because emotions impede productivity. That's why they want to use robots. For example, in factories, why do they use? Okay, yeah, they use robots because it's faster. And it's also
It's also
robots
cheaper.
work
It's also
without
cheaper. That's the most
cheaper.
important part
I mean,
of businesses.
in the long run, it's cheaper.
Yeah, it's
Yeah,
faster and
so
cheaper.
yeah,
That's
it's
amazing.
and then it's also because it's more productive because they do not need to rest. And what makes people want to rest is their emotions of lapse. It's because they can
They
feel
can feel the
tired.
tired.
Then they can feel then they can also be lazy, you know. Then
I don't think they can
emotions are just
be
like
lazy. I think it's just because laziness is it's a part of being human, which some people don't have the mental strength to fight off laziness and allow laziness to consume them, whereas robots don't have to fight these demons.
they just I mean all they gotta fight is like it's just
All they gotta fight is wear and tear.
yeah.
Speaking of robots, I think one of my New Year's resolutions for 2019, I think, before like the whole God complex thing last year.
Mhm.
I talked about last episode. Yeah, one of my resolutions was to become more robotic.
Oh, serious?
Yeah, I think I went around declaring that because look at all the pros of robot. No need to deal with sadness. No need to deal with happiness. No need to deal with the worry that comes with sadness or happiness. And best of all, no need to deal with the tired.
Mm-hmm. I mean,
but then over time, right? Well, I realized that what I was doing was just rejecting the existence of such emotions.
yeah, just
And then, like we
it's just
previously
very
discussed, not a very good road to walk down.
definitely because after all,
Yeah,
if you ignore those things,
it
I guess
bottles
you
up,
just
and
keep
then
building up.
you implode. Is that how implode works, or is it explode? I don't know, but
Then how? I'm sure we discussed this in the last episode, but then how should we deal with emotions?
um, there is this I'm not sure whether okay. Let's go with this. I read somewhere where you know your brain, right?
Mm-hmm.
There is the left brain and the right brain. One of it is more focused on the more the things that we associate with the brain, thinking, mathematics, logic, and the other one is more colorful and focuses on colors
Creativity.
and other artsy stuff.
Yeah.
But then there's also
I
this,
saw that.
but yeah. So following this two brains thingy, right? There is also some people have called it the thinking brain and the feeling brain,
Mm-hmm.
which I think explains procrastination really well. So you know how you know sometimes you feel lazy and your laziness causes you to push to work to future you.
Yeah.
So so you and I both know that procrastination is bad,
Yeah.
but for some reason we can't help procrastination.
Yeah.
Yeah, and the point that I'm trying to get at is how do we solve this? And after like a few months, I realized that your thinking brain is not the thing. It is not in control of your life. It is the feeling brain.
Thinking brain. Yeah. Because I guess it's just how should I put it? It's just very hard to make yourself follow the logical decisions. You know,
Maybe let's go with a more relatable example. I know that I should be exercising regularly. I know that exercise is good for my body and myself, both physically and mentally. I can list out 10 reasons why exercising is good. But at the same time, I don't exercise regularly.
Yeah, it's just.
Then
I guess that's why.
then on the same wherever I read this from. Apparently, you need to trick your brain into liking exercise. The reason we don't do the things that we are supposed to do is because our brain doesn't want to do the things that we are supposed to do. So going back to exercise, our brains have to want to exercise. Which is why I propose this incredible solution called being accountable. And this is the way it works. You message someone and have them be your accountability partner. And the role of the accountability partner is to keep you accountable. So you send them a list of things that you're going to do and they ensure that you do it. How? My suggestion is they shame you for failing at your tasks. Let's say in my to-do list, one of my tasks was to wash the toilet, and I did not wash the toilet because washing the toilet. Your accountability partner is there to shame you for not washing the toilet, and because feeling ashamed is a feeling, and because your feeling brain is in control, your feeling brain will tell your thinking brain to wash the toilet because it doesn't want to feel bad for not being accountable. And there you go. You have manipulated your feeling brain into doing an otherwise undesirable activity. What do you think about that?
That's interesting. I mean, it's interesting, but then I would say it depends on who your accountability partner is. Because
fair point.
because if my accountability partner is someone that I just that I feel his opinions aren't really, I don't really which I do not feel very obliged to listen to them, then it might even backfire and I might feel even more reluctant to do it just because they're shaming me about it, you know, like the defiance.
That's why you pick a good accountability partner. But if you pick such a person, I think that's on you. But there's also the other problem where your accountability partner also has no control over their feeling brain. So like you send a to-do list to them, you fail to do the things on your to-do list. And by right they are supposed to call you out for that. But then you try to appeal to their emotions and go, oh, I was just so busy today, I had to do other thing that was part of my to-do list, which took up way more energy than I thought, and I'm just so exhausted. I think I deserve a break. And then your accountability partner goes, yeah, I understand. It's fine. Don't feel too bad about it. And then and then you go, okay, yeah, I'll just catch up tomorrow. And then tomorrow comes, and this cycle of I'll just push it to tomorrow has developed. And then
eventually,
and then like a week later you go, well, this didn't work out.
I mean that's that is kind of like me accounting to my piano teacher.
Wait, what?
Like piano practice. Just every week, I've got work.
Yeah, you see, if anything, I think this just highlights the importance of putting a leash on your feeling brain.
But then, it's just so hard to do so, right?
So yeah, but whatever we've talked about, right, was just centered around the whole productivity part.
Yeah.
I think we also need to consider we need to consider some other emotions.
So basically you're saying that we shouldn't only care about productivity, we should like we shouldn't only care about what we should do, but also we should start like caring more about the emotions, which is what we want to do, right?
Yeah. I think you kind of you took whatever I wanted to say out of my mouth. Because emotions are emotions are okay. Time to get some TOK brownie points. Emotions are a way of knowing because it hints at our inner desires for something. I feel lazy can be translated to I want more free time. I feel sad can be translated to I want the situation around me to improve. Yeah. So we've already covered I feel lazy. Now let's cover I feel sad. We talked about the midnight detox last week, but we didn't really talk about how to stop the midnight detox because ultimately it was just a temporary solution.
Actually, to be honest, for me at least, it's been a while since I ever had such a midnight.
Well, that's great. That's great for you. I mean, it could be because you're just too tired to even think, but
that's probably the case. Because nowadays, whenever not even nowadays, I guess in the past month, whenever I sleep, I'm just so tired from school, from work, that I just immediately just goes off, and I don't have time to sit down and be like, so why did I exist?
No time to think about existence when all the time you have is spent thinking about your tests.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, it just occupies your brain. Yeah, it just occupies so much space in your brain that you just don't have any I guess brain power left to even care about other things.
Yeah, but that distractions are distractions are just a temporary solution. Ultimately, the emotions are still there, and their messages still need to be deciphered and addressed. Okay, we're gonna define like a barrier here. Okay, where school is not to be used as an excuse for putting off feelings of worthlessness about your own life.
I guess. How serious or maybe what type of problem are you possibly referring to?
Let's say this feelings of doubt about doubts about your self-worth.
I guess eventually I just accept that. I would just.
So basically, your solution is acknowledgement.
I can acknowledge that. Yeah, okay, I do myself one. Having my self-esteem on that is useless.
Isn't it just detrimental?
What?
Isn't that kind of detrimental too? Where you acknowledge that, I am in no position to change my fate or change my life, and therefore I shall continue to suffer. I'd say that the best way to go about doing it is to just remove, or at least like temporarily remove yourself from your your life. Okay, it's a bit confusing. Okay, just whenever you think about these kinds of things, right? My solution would be to take this thinking self out of the situation and place them on some higher level, as though they are observing as though they are like an observer. Because as an observer, right? Okay, maybe let's define the observer a bit clearer. You know how we talked last week about the friend that is there to solve your problems. Yeah, that friend functions as the observer. He observes the situation. He identifies the pros and cons of each solution and the possible and the factors that are motivating the decision. before suggesting an appropriate course of action. That is the role of your thinking self, of the that is the role of the observer, the you that is currently suspended in thought.
So,
Yeah,
so
so
basically
the observer examines your life, deconstructs your life for you, and then points you in the right direction. I think coming to terms with it is the first step, but is definitely not the final step. You acknowledge that there is a problem, and then you got to spell out a plan that addresses the problem. But then the problem here is, what is that plan? I think that differs from people to people, from person to person, and it varies given the situation.
But then, right, what if you cannot realize the plan? What if you cannot actually do what you plan to do? Then what?
The thing is, I don't think we can really talk about how how said plan will be executed, because we don't even know what said plan is. So I think all we can do now, as just two people thinking about a hypothetical situation, is to develop a framework for emotional problem solving, where step one is acknowledgement, and step two is analysis. As in, what does this emotion tell me? And then from there is step three, where you activate your thinking brain and think your way out. Actually, that's a very bad way to put it. As in, you activate your thinking brain and you come up with a step-by-step solution to get out of the situation. Of course, this is way harder in real life, and with actual concrete examples. Because ultimately you're feeling, because whenever you feel an emotion, it usually points in multiple different directions. It points in it points to quite a number of desires, and the way to address those desires might be conflicting. So, a desire to know more people might be with to to build better relationships with the people that you already know. One of them involves spending more time with more people, while the other one involves spending more time with less people, for example. But I think you can agree that it's better than just cowering in fear and letting I feel worthless. Yeah, it's better letting these feelings take over you. Yeah.
For sure. I guess it's just the idea of I guess it's just it is linked to the idea of how many people seek a direction in life, and then this kind of gives them a certain direction to work towards.
Okay, yeah.
Because having a certain plan and working according to that plan is definitely it's much better than just sitting around and not doing anything, you know.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, I think that's how the saying "an idle mind is a devil's workshop," or "the devil's workshop," whichever one it is. Yeah, it took me a solid 16 years to figure out what that actually meant.
So you heard that when you were 1 year old.
Okay, but you get the point. I heard that when I was young, but I didn't know what that means until one day I was just thinking about things, and then feeling bad about thinking about things, and feeling bad about the things that I thought about. Yeah. I guess that's why this step-by-step approach always comes up when dealing when discussing mental health. Yeah, but I don't know. I don't want to talk about mental health too much, because I am not a mental health professional. If anything, I need help. We all need help. We're all growing. We're all realizing a few things.
If we really need mental health, we should go to what's it called? The counselors, the one that is
Yeah, good. I say go to a profession. Go to a professional. Apparently, I heard that therapy is great because uh the therapist is your accountability partner and at the same time kind of your counselor. But yeah.
But the thing is, I mean, okay, yeah, I think I don't judge. But then all I wanted to say was just that, I know someone that used to go for therapy and it wasn't necessarily good. But then I guess it just really varies from person
No,
to
the
person.
thing with therapy, right? It is that if therapy is not, it's not like going to a doctor.
Yeah,
You go to a doctor because you're sick. Doctor prescribes you medicine, and then you go home. You consume said medicine. Don't do stupid things like go out of the house and engage in physical activity and get even more sick. Yeah, and then when you feel healthy again, you don't go back to the doctor. But but I guess the greatest misconception about therapy is you go to the therapist and the therapist fixes you.
Oh yeah, that's
I mean, when I put it this way, it sounds almost intuitive, right? You can't expect to talk your problems away. You got to actively. It's like saying I need to become fitter. I can't just talk about wanting to get fitter and then becoming fitter. Actually, that'll be great. That'll be great if that actually worked. It would save me so much time and energy. But you get the point. It's laughable. This thinking is laughable. But at the same time, some people who choose to go to therapy suffer from this, and it turns from laughable into pitiful.
Yeah.
What do you think? How would you describe the role of the therapist then?
I mean, I would just say that they're there to just let you have someone to turn to at your worst moments. Perhaps I also see that's the role of the therapist. But then but of course I feel that people shouldn't look at a therapist as a quick fix, as someone that you can just go for a session and then just solve their problems. I feel that you should look at a therapist you should look at a therapist in the way that okay, you know what, I got this problem. I'm gonna the therapist is there to help me along the way, and then I feel the person you understand firstly that it's definitely not a quick fix. The problem's not gonna disappear soon, and that it takes time and effort. Then and I feel once the person acknowledges that, it would be a lot more easier to it'll be a lot easier to solve the problem.
Yeah, I think I explained it well. Ultimately, you need to put in the effort to better your own life.
Yeah.
And speaking of life, right? The whole reason I even brought this dealing with emotions thing is some time ago. Some time ago before entering IB, right? I was just feeling very conflicted about living. Oh, that sounds bad, doesn't it? Okay, hold on. Let me rephrase it. Yeah, as in during the period between end of years last year and the start of IB this year, right? I was in this like sort of limbo as to like what, in very simple terms, just like what is the meaning of life now?
Oh, that's what you meant.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, what is the meaning of life? To you, at least. There's no answer. Philosophy people will have an answer to this.
What is the meaning of life?
And philosophy is not something that I want to get into now, because I think I think that it's just nice to hear what people think about
life,
their own existence.
I mean, okay, the weird part is I've actually never really thought a lot about why do I live, I just I mean, okay, they definitely care about why do I live, right? Okay, what am I gonna do in the future? But I didn't really think about why do I live, I'm honestly, I actually don't know how to feel about it.
So in saying that you don't really know I'm just going to take your answer to be because. Period. I live because. Full stop.
Uh-huh.
Or you live for the sake of living. And given like what I know about you, okay, this is gonna sound a bit bad, but given what I know about you,
Uh-huh.
you the purpose of living is to survive school.
Yeah, that's definitely a part of it.
Okay, then what's the other part that I'm missing out?
Never really given it much thought, and I just instinctively reacted with that's a part of it. Yeah.
So you see the implications here, and the instinct to say a part of to say that it is a part of the reason hints at a desire for an escape from the work surrounding the work that you have to do and the responsibilities that you have to to
Shoulder.
is it shoulder
Okay,
shoulder or
not
bear? I'm not
shoulder.
sure.
More of like that I have to face, perhaps.
I don't know. My brain is only thinking in Chinese right now. I forgot the English word for it. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Shoulder is used for burdens. Responsibilities is the things that you have to be responsible for. Yeah. Let's just roll with that. I can't. I'm running off. No, I'm running out of words. But yeah, it's not necessary. But okay. Wait. But anyway, I don't think that your life philosophy is necessarily bad. You know,
Mm-hmm.
because distractions are because distractions are I think distractions are much better than acknowledging a sort that distractions are better than acknowledging a lack of purpose.
Distractions are better.
Remember the
than
frame the
acknowledging.
framework that I talked about, where you acknowledge said feeling, and then step 2 or step 3 is to work or to analyze said feeling and then do something about said feeling. The acknowledgement part is detrimental because you just focus your energy onto your inability to change things.
Yeah.
And for that and for that holiday period between last year and this year, that was where my energy was going towards. This acknowledgement that um time will continue to flow no matter yeah, just time will continue to flow regardless.
Uh-huh.
And it made me feel very powerless. And when I confronted myself with this question, I couldn't come up with an answer. And long story short, that was how I became a more mature person.
Hmm.
The long story short part is important because it wasn't a long story. It was more of a long and painful story that I would rather not have to read again. Yeah.
Uh-huh. But then, do you think that we are kind of well equipped in like facing such problems?
Um. No.
Uh-huh. That
Because I wisdom is wisdom is the one thing that we hold on to try and take control of our lives.
uh-huh.
I mean, that's my life philosophy now. The focus for me right now is to not attempt. The focus, the meaning of life to me is to grow and to develop so as to enable myself to develop other people. Or at the very least, help other people on their path to development.
That
Sounds
sounds nice.
borderline noble.
Yeah, it sounds very noble.
Yeah, but I think coming from this, I think coming from like this this rift, the void. Okay, let's just call it the void.
Mhm.
I just don't want people to visit the void where they don't where they don't really know what to do, where they don't really know what to do with their life. Not in an occupational sort of way, as in like what am I supposed to do with this husk that I am inhabiting. It would be nice to have a goal to work towards. Yeah, that's pretty much it. I thought I got it all like figured out last year or the year before, or like even at 14, you know. But then it just kept changing. But I guess the other question I want to ask is: does life have to have meaning?
I mean, I think it doesn't. It's good to think of, but then at the same time, I don't really give that much. Yeah, it's good. It's good to keep it in mind, but then I wouldn't really put that as a
So you're that type
primary
of
focus.
you're that type of person, the type
Or what?
that the type that would continue to walk down the path without much question as to why they are on this path and what lies at the end of it.
I mean,
It's not
sure,
necessarily bad.
From time to time, I think about it, but then at the same time,
So at the same time, just enjoy my surroundings whenever I come across it.
yes, I know.
So I guess that's a good. That's honestly quite nice. Because last year when I when confronted with the I don't know what to do with this existence question, right? I spoke to someone about it, and then they gave me the answer that you are giving me too. That life doesn't need to have meaning for us to be able to enjoy it. And I never thought about it that way before. So at the end of the day, just live because